President Trump's first year in office has been quite a roller coaster ride, looking past the staff turnover, the special counsel and things like that. The bigger picture, President Trump, let's face it, has had some major policy accomplishments in his first year, naming a conservative judge to the Supreme Court, slashing regulations, new pipeline projects and new oil drilling. And it looks like we're going to get tax cuts and a repeal of the individual mandate. Here to grade the administration's performance, Fox News contributor Deneen Borelli, Ashley Pratte, conservative commentator and contributor to U.S. News and World Report, and Ford O'Connell, chairman of CivicForumPAC and a contributor to the Washington Examiner. Ford, I find it interesting because I saw articles all over today, and one was really good, Trump. One was from a never Trumper who said, yeah, you know what, he's done some great things with ISIS, but I'm a little concerned with some of the other things like Charlottesville. And then you actually had a progressive who said, you got to give him credit. He's done more than we thought he would.
Well, no, look, I absolutely agree with that, and the media is never going to give Trump a fair shake. Look, prior to last week, I would have given Donald Trump a B+ primarily for his economic stewardship and the tax bill. Now I'm going to change that to an A-, Charles, and here's why. As a recovering attorney, I know how important the federal courts are in our society and our everyday life. And while Neil Gorsuch was a great pick to the Supreme Court, his real victory was appointing the most ever federal appeals court judges in a first presidential term. Look, if there's anything that Donald Trump could do better, it's making people feel more comfortable with him as president and having a plan to end chain migration, because that window of opportunity is going to end after the Democrats possibly retake the House in 2018.
Ashley, your thoughts?
I'm going to tiptoe, I think, around a little bit of what Ford said, because I do think there's a good mixture of things in there to discuss. The fact that, his approval ratings to begin with were in the low 40s. Now they're in the mid 30s. He's going to have a difficult time when it comes to midterms. It doesn't matter what he's been able to accomplish, because people see him as someone who's erratic.
So
and
you don't think people are going to vote with their pocketbooks if their
No,
paychecks are bigger?
Because I think what we're going to see is a lot of Republicans who will sit on the sidelines because they are so disaffected by what has happened within the Republican Party. I mean, it was something that they felt was hijacked, I'm one of them, by Trump, where it became almost like, the Trump Party, where all of a sudden we just said, hey, we don't care what happens, we don't care about behavior, we don't care about demeanor in the office. And that has become part of the problem here, because that has redefined the Republican Party. So, if we stuck to the principles of limited government, lower taxes, and all of these things,
you're going to get lower taxes probably in 24 hours. But I will say this.
Will that be the message that comes away with
voters? I will say this much, though. A lot of folks are saying, first of all, the party belongs to the folks who have registered and vote for it. So this is what the American public chose. And, I got to tell you, Deneen, I remember President Obama him and Biden running on the notion that bin Laden is dead. How about ISIS is dead? I mean, that's a hell of a platform to run on. And the economic prosperity, I don't know how you could ignore that.
Well, listen, I give the president an A. I think he's done an outstanding job considering the cleanup aisle 5 mess he inherited from former President Obama with his fundamental transformation of America. But I do think it's time for the naysayers to pick a team. Are you going to support President Trump, his America First agenda and the forgotten men and women, or are you going to support the deep state, which has their own agenda and they're working against Americans? It's time to pick a team.
Well, to Deneen's point, I just want to say this. Imagine we had these accomplishments and we fixed it to any other name, Mitt Romney, Marco Rubio, other than Donald John Trump. Ashley Pratte right now would be going crazy, and he'd be lauded up and down the street.
Do any of those men behave the way he does and disrespect the office of the presidency? If he acted more presidential, I would support him 100%.
But I disagree with that.
Until he behaves like the president of the United States, I would get behind him.
Actually, that fix was in before the campaign.
1 second. But he is yet to act presidential to me. And the moments he has, I have said, great, and I applaud him. And then he does the next stupid thing on Twitter in 140 characters, now 280.
So I understand where people may say, you know what, some of these tweets rub me the wrong way, but to have a tweet erase the crushing defeat of ISIS, to have a tweet erase 3 quarters in a row, 3% GDP growth, to have a tweet erase the idea that in February people are going to keep more money than they earn, that seems very superficial.
It doesn't, because of the fact that it's just completely erratic. And you would see that behavior from not Mitt Romney, not Marco Rubio, none of these people who act the statesman role that he should be acting as commander-in-chief.
He has accomplished something, but he's accomplished more than any of those.
One second, let me bring Deneen in for a moment, because you were a Donald Trump backer from the very beginning. And obviously, you're pleased with what you've seen so far.
Listen, the economy is booming. Unemployment is is low. Even black unemployment is at historically low numbers. You're seeing what's going on with the markets going up every day. Consumer confidence is high. Consumers are spending, rather, is 2/3 of the economy. So listen, I do think Americans are going to vote with their wallet come the midterm elections and come 2020, because they're going to see that there is a difference with their family in terms of the economy and more money in their pocket.
And that should be the messaging the White House puts forward.
I think they will, as a matter of fact. Guys, very spirited. Thank you all.